What do you guys think of the new centerpiece? We have a new bong. We're in a new office, in a new city, technically. And same old, same old. It's happening, man. We are just under 7 weeks out from stepping on the Olympia stage. And the importance of my routine is of the most importance right now. There is no more traveling. There is no more putting everything else in front of what I have to do. This is my priority, and the day-to-day now backs just that. From the moment I wake up to the moment I lay my head on that bed, it's all focused towards this one goal, and I wouldn't want it any other way. We are getting ready to step on the biggest stage in the world, and there is no break in routine right now. So you guys know what tradition stays alive. We have 2 scoops, 3 rips. That's gonna stay consistent, even probably till after prep. So whether it's committing to getting body work done every single week since prep has started, post-workout every Wednesday, or whether it's sitting in boxes like this or cold tubs, we have to prioritize recovery. It's been an absolute game changer. And coming in here, a lot of times post-workout to kind of help reset the body has been something that, honestly, it's something that's been missed throughout every other prep. And again, as I grow in this sport, I learn, and that's also routine. It's important to make sure that you are growing out of each phase of whether it's prep, whether it's life in general. You have to make sure you take those lessons that ultimately come with that progression. And trust me when I say prioritizing your recovery is certainly one of those things that's been embedded into our weekly routine when it comes to prep. You know what's also pretty funny, dude? What? Another random routine is something that I probably began to overthink a little bit, was the fact that this commitment, right? We committed to a prep. Guys, this is our 17th video here. Damn, that's crazy. This is our 17th video consecutively. And throughout just the prep series, we've also had a lot of other videos introduced in between. So it's been plenty more. And this is something that's also new within the channel, is giving you guys in-depth understanding and raw truths of what's going on behind the scenes. and letting you guys into this prep, into my life, when typically this is a time I like to shut off. You know, this is typically out of routine, but it's also giving me that extra motivation on a consistent basis with you guys feeling more involved in this prep. So that's something that's been crazy. You know, me and Juan have been working together for a little bit now. So this is our biggest commitment that we've ever had. We've had a lot of cool, crazy videos, kind of cool turnaround times that just led to dramatic things. But, you know, it's something different when you're committing to something long term. And whether you're feeling down, whether you're sick, you got to find a way to prevail. Shit, we prevailed during a hurricane. And who knows what the rest of this prep's gonna be, but it's been one routine that it's been a pleasure, and I'm so excited, guys. So if you've been liking this series so far, and again, these next 7 weeks, 7 videos are gonna be absolutely insane, not including the grand finale of show day. It's gonna be crazy. So if you guys are liking the series so far, give it a like button. Give us a comment below. Let us know what you've liked so far about the series, what you want to see more of. But now it is time to get my ass home, because the more important part of my routine starts now. So we can't have a day in the life without somebody who adds so much value to my life. So I wanted to ask her a quick question. I'm in my routine on a day-to-day basis, and I, again, kind of close off when I'm in prep and have like tunnel vision. And sometimes I tend to forget kind of what's going on around me. But how does it, like me on prep, like what would you explain it? Like my routine, just my day-to-day operations.
A robot.
Very robotic, to say the least. Is there anything that you would say that you admire or don't like about kind of everything that we do, or I do on a like day-to-day, whether it's work or anything?
You're always doing something, but I feel like that's to keep yourself busy. To keep your mind off of the dieting and prepping and all that.
Especially as we get this close to the show, and we have Jaxie making a surprise visit. But as we get closer to the show, it's definitely gets to a point where I feel like I'm on autopilot, and I just kind of keep going and maneuvering through whatever I have going on in the day. It is currently 8:30 p.m. at night, and since our workout, we came home, showered up, had our post-workout meal, and now we are currently winding down, getting a little bit of work done prior to tomorrow, going into a very busy day. But we are currently 7 weeks out, and this is typically the time when, you know, exhaustion starts to happen a little bit more frequently. The energy that you exert, you tend to feel a little bit more throughout the day. Also, patience, you know, being able to actually take outside noise and be actually able to handle it with some grace. I feel like, you know, my irritability is definitely starting to amp it up at this point. I think right now I'm just so hyper focused on things that I need to do on a consistent basis that really any noise outside of that realm is, you know, just noise right now. But I have, you know, a few things that I like to do to kind of keep my head on track. And I know it might sound dumb, but I actually have Post-it notes that I leave here on my computer, somewhere I sit every single day as a reminder, right? But the most important one that I want to focus on is the little things matter. And this is something that I keep very close to me, solely because sometimes you need a reminder, right? We're so busy focusing on the bigger picture at hand when sometimes it's so easy to overlook the littlest of things. And that's the littlest things in all aspects. It's not just bodybuilding, it's friendships, it's, you know, the details in your business, right? I own a business, so it's important for me to make sure that the fine-tuned details aren't overlooked just because I'm trying to, you know, put emphasis elsewhere. That's why the importance of actually having a team and somebody who you trust, whether it's Juan with the content creation, whether it's the team of coaches that I have who help me stay on track and keep the business flowing. It's important to focus on the little things and not just emphasize the bigger picture, you know, all the time. And, you know, one of the little things that's something that I've noticed that I kind of let go to the wayside was my relationship. And what I mean by that is the detail in my relationship, the little things, the things that let your partner know how much you care. And, you know, when it comes to prep, bodybuilding is a selfish sport, but I truly believe you don't get to the places you're trying to get to without that support system. And my relationship is the biggest support system that I have. And not only does she show up for me when I'm almost unable to show up for myself, you know, she keeps me going, she keeps me motivated, and she keeps things interesting, to say the least. She's the type of fiance who will literally order crumble cookies as well as pizza right in front of me, no matter how far or close I am to the show. For example, the day before the show, she had pizza right in front of me before I stepped on stage at the New York Pro. But again, she keeps things special, to say the least. So typically, before I have my final meal of the day, I start to straighten up the house just a little bit. If you can't tell, part of my day, every day, is kind of setting my future self up for success, or the future day up for success. But we have 50 grams of oatmeal. Food is starting to get lower and lower, I feel like, by the week at this point. Cardio right now is staying pretty consistent, but your boy's starting to get a little bit hungry. But this is pretty typical around 7 weeks out. So I try to have my last meal as close as I can to bed, just so I can stay satiated, full throughout the night. Waking up in the middle of the night with hunger pains is hands down the worst situation you can be in. So in order for me to combat that, the closer to bed I go, that's typically when the last meal goes down. So before I wrap up the video, Megan and I are going to spend a little bit of quality time together. We're about to get ready to watch a Netflix movie. I think it's called
Bachelor in Paradise.
That's not happening. We're starting a movie. We're trying to find a series. So if you guys have any recommendations, please leave it in the comments below. She doesn't like any kind of horror, Jeffrey Dahmer type series. So we're trying to find something that's a little bit more low-key. Reality TV is not a recommendation, so please don't drop that below. Try to find something that's like, I don't know, creative comedy. But we're going to watch something, I think it's called like Start From Scratch. I think it's like a rom-com. So some of the sacrifices you got to make. But this is typically the time that we try to spend a little bit of quality time together. It's usually at night. Sometimes I have to suck it up and watch The Bachelor or The Bachelor in Paradise. But tonight we're going to watch a movie. Most of the time I tend to fall asleep too. But I do want to connect with you guys and kind of talk a little bit more about kind of the madness of today. And honestly, for madness, I mean the boringness of today. And to close out the night, we have 50 grams of Quaker oatmeal combined with 24 grams of all natural peanut butter and 50 grams of whey protein from Ghost, which is an absolute game changer on prep, especially the closer you get to the actual show and cravings tend to amp up, or just closer to the end of the night when cravings are typically at its worst, at least for me. This is something that absolutely adds so much flavor and diversity up to what is already such a monotonous meal plan, and it helps definitely keep some sanity. But now for the main ingredient, we have 1 bowl pack of indica to help turn off the brain and actually rest, which is something that has definitely been a little bit more difficult as prep is getting closer to its end. But before we wrap the video, guys, I don't want to break down the food too much. We are definitely going to record a full day of eating very soon. The last time we did it was 12 weeks out, and the meal plan has changed drastically since then. But today's video, you know, it's nothing, you know, dramatic. A lot of you guys were asking about a day in the life. You guys wanted to see a little bit more behind the scenes of, you know, what I do on a day-to-day. And in its rawest form, guys, it's pretty simple. You know, I drive to the office, I do work, you know, I go to the gym, I eat my meals, and, you know, I try to spend some time with my fiance closer to the end of the night. And it's, you know, pretty consistent. You know, if I'm not traveling, which is something that I refuse to do anymore on this prep, but if I'm not traveling, this is something that is extremely important to me. I'm somebody who strives off a routine. When you throw me out of my routine is typically when, you know, even though I might be executing the plan, I just don't feel like I'm giving it my all. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain it, but I just feel like I come alive when I'm in a routine. I see my body responds a lot better when it's in a consistent routine, whether it's the same gym, same people, same style of cooking, on my stove. It's just, everything is personal to me. And again, it's just something that, it's important, man. Like building a strong routine, I call it a championship routine, is something that is just going to allow you to move throughout the day robot-like. And what I mean by that is without second guessing or overthinking the next move, right? When you build a routine, and especially a championship routine, you raise the standard of yourself on a day-to-day basis. And if you can consistently do that, that's what's going to separate you in the long run from everybody else who can't stay consistent or takes time off or whatever it may be. This is a sport that you cannot turn off. It's 24/7, and even though you might see a lot of the highlights on Instagram, but in order to see some of those highlights, man, this is the monotony of the day to day. It's not too fun. It's not too outgoing. Even with running businesses and creating content and just all these things that are currently going on in my life, the main focus is still getting this job done. So I am creating an environment, putting myself in this environment and creating a routine around that environment that's going to allow me to be successful. So again, it might not be the most glamorous thing, but that's a part of what this sport is. It's doing the things that might not be the prettiest or might not be the sexiest or Instagram friendliest, and making sure that you're creating good habits throughout that time and raising the bar of your standards on a day-to-day basis. So I hope you guys like this video. Your boy is starving and this sweet tooth is definitely going to get cured right now, but I wanted to thank you guys. So if you can, smash the like button. If you can't tell, your boy is tired. When you shoot a full day of eating or you shoot a day in the life and it takes from the morning to the night to shoot, it definitely gets a little bit drawn out. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope we were able to add some cinematic value at the same time, giving you some raw truths behind what we do, but telling it in a way that hopefully was pure entertainment for you. So if you like the series so far, if you like everything that we're doing, smash the like button, share, subscribe, share this with a bodybuilder who may be able to gain some value off of this, or can help, just take 10 to 15 minutes of their day and just relate to somebody, man. Trust me, in this sport sometimes it feels like you're you're lonely, especially when you're doing the same things over and over and over and over again. But that is what makes a champion. And I truly believe, with the foundation that we've set and the routine that are in play, we can do it, man. We can really do it. So again, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. And before we go,